I'm not Rob.
Who's that guy?
Hey, Gus. Answers by Gus today. We're getting ready for week number 1, and I'm not Rob. What's new?
The bridge. Marty, the bridge. What do we got this year? What do we got for him? Let's introduce you first of all. If you were watching episode 1 last week, when I was on here by myself, I was telling you Rob's got a lot of things to do. He's very busy. I'm starting to get busy. Marty reached out to me, and right after the show was just like, hey, could you guys use a little bit of help? I want to help keep the show going. So that's what he's doing. He is the bridge. And Marty is going to help us throughout this year when Rob cannot. And I must say he's done a remarkable job. And hopefully we get some people watching so they can see what he's got put together.
Yeah, thanks. So like I said, I reached out, wanted to keep this. I've been watching your show for 5 years. And I sensed if I could help out and keep this going through season 9, that was a great thing. We got a great community, and looking forward to working with you, and looking forward when Rob can join us. So,
yeah. And what's the best part about Answers by Guest, Marty? I know that you had it on the tip of your tongue. You wanted to let everybody know.
Yeah, the best thing about Answers by Guest is, unlike the Red Zone this year, we are commercial free.
Yeah.
So we've got that going for us. I can't believe the Red Zone's going commercials. That's another story there.
That might be unfortunate, though, that we don't have commercials. Because if we had commercials, then I could probably buy myself some time to do this, and then you'd be a little more free. But again, I appreciate you coming out. What I'm trying to do right now is what Rob typically does, but he's actually having a fantasy draft right now. And what he does is he shares it to the group, and I'm going to do that right now. Because that's what people usually realize that we go live. And I'm being honest, Marty, I told you this before the show, and I'm being honest. The lot of work that he did in the little bit of time, you'll see tonight. I think it looks great. I think we got some great ideas, and it's going to be guessing the bridge until Rob can pop in. And some of you might get lucky if you're into that sort of thing, but it could be all three of us one night. I think I got it. Are you frozen? Did you freeze?
I am not.
All right. I shared it to the group. So you want to show them what we got? Oh, good. Sorry. He's yelling at me already. I tried to do it. It didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't work at all.
Oh, well, I did it again on there. Let's get into it, Marty. What do we got?
All right. Well, it's Answers by Guest, the inside scoop from outside the box. We're at season 9, episode 2. It's the week 1 preview. And we're going to start out. There's been a lot of headlines, a lot of news over the last week. So wanted to get your thoughts about this from the Guest Gazette News and Notes. So headline number 1. I know you like this one. Micah Parsons traded to the Packers.
Yeah, I think you had wrote it on the page a few minutes after I had sent a screenshot to Rob, and a few minutes after I saw it for the first time. So by the time you had typed it, I already picked up the Packers defense. Now, do I think they're going to be world beaters? No. But in due time, they're going to beat more worlds, if you understand what I'm saying. Their defense was lacking a pass rusher that got it. and they're basically were free on the waiver wire. A lot of leagues they're not even being drafted. So in the 2 leagues where I had an open spot or somebody I could drop because I needed a defense anyway, I picked up the Packers. I think it's going to help them. We've all seen it. 27-year-old quarterback. They trade for a defensive stud. What do? Win the Super Bowl. So let's see. You want me to go to the next one, or do you want to do it? Act like it. Are you there? He might have froze. So I'm going to click into this. I don't know if he's frozen or if I'm frozen. Are you there, Marty?
Yeah,
can you hear me?
I am here. I was going to say, you're talking about you picked up the Packers defense, and obviously that impacts the Cowboys defense a little bit without Micah there. But what I was also thinking of was the Cowboys offense. Their defense isn't as strong. They're not getting that edge rush from their defense that they're used to. I'm looking at the Cowboys. Could be tossing up a lot of points to try to stay in the games too. So that'll be interesting how that progresses with this trade.
Yeah, they're definitely going to need to.
All right, the next one. Rashid Rice suspended 6 games. He decided to go for that, get it over with. There's people that I'm hearing are high on Mahomes, others not too sure. But who is Mahomes going to be throwing to, and how does this affect the Kansas City offense, at least for the first 6 games?
Yeah, well, episode 1, I was going through my draft. That's all I was doing in my main, most important league. And I was talking up Rashid Rice because I drafted him with the hopes of playing him for the first 4 weeks and him getting suspended maybe in the end of September when his court date was said to be. They came to an agreement, hey, let's just get it out of the way. No matter what happens, you suspend 6 games. So now, and Yahoo took away that you can't put a suspended player. So I can't even put Rashid Rice on the IR. So I just have to hold him on my bench. How's that going to affect them? They're going to do what they did last year without him towards the end. They're going to involve Noah Gray a lot more. I kind of like him as a dynasty hold right now. I mean, this is Kelsey's last year. Everybody knows it. So if he's sitting out there on the waiver wire and your tight end dynasty is what I'm really talking about. But if anything happens to Kelsey this year, but dynasty, Noah Gray is a great hold, and they're going to use him, I think, early and often. They're going to try and conserve Kelsey as much as possible because their goal is the Super Bowl, and they need him strong and healthy towards the end. So they'll go with Worthy. They'll use Gray. I think that's pretty much what they'll do. A couple 2 tight end sets, a little speed guy. I mean, nobody's worried about Juju the Royals, the rookie, could do something. But I think that they'll sort of rely on Gray and Worthy for the most part.
Excellent. Headline number 3. The Tampa Bay wide receivers, Godwin out at least 6 games probably. McMillan, another one who really was becoming one of Baker's favorite targets on the pup list. Who knows if he'll come back this year? So how's that going to affect Baker, and who's going to pick up where with Godwin and McMillan out?
Yeah, well, Evans killed it last year without Godwin. Allowed McMillan to get in and get more playing time. He did well. He ended up getting hurt. I mean, Ibuka's the easy answer. He's a stud. He's going to step right in. It's going to be the 3 of them pretty much going for it. Cade Otton's banged up going into this game, so he even knows with that. So anybody, I think that there's a couple guys that got a couple rookies, but it's not anybody that you have to go out and get now, I don't think, because, 6 games is a long time, but I think they'll get by just fine using a committee, just like they have over the years on that second wide receiver. And it's nobody that you're going to be starting this week or even next week. So there's no real rush for any of those guys. So I think that's the easy answer. It's Ibuka.
Yep, I agree. And then also see how Bucky Irving to give him more of the ball and dump off too. So we'll see how Tampa Bay adjusts.
And White
They've
too.
had
They'll use
injuries in their
they'll
wide
use White.
receivers before.
Oh yeah.
All right, this is no one knows. Maybe you have the crystal ball here, guess, but Mixon's out. Just hearing a lot of unknown between Chubb and Pierce, and you're one of your top guys, five guys for your eyes, Woody Marks. Uh, the offensive line for Houston's not very good anyway, so there's just a lot of the pundits are saying they're just going to be slinging the ball all over the place. But who do you think's going to maybe calm this down a little bit and can pick up some yards, run the clock, and out of this running back group?
Yeah, I'm upset. It's a double-edged sword that Mixon is hurt so soon because Woody Marks. I think I mentioned this on episode 1. He was one of my guys at the end of May. I took him in a dynasty league with my 3rd-round pick. I was like, I don't like Mixon, Pierce, or Chubb to all remain healthy, and this dude can catch passes. So he is who I'm going to be looking at. I gave out his name already as my number 1 5 guy for your eye last episode. Pierce, I talked up Pierce years ago when he was a rookie, but since the injury, he's just looks sluggish. They say he looks better, but let's see. And Chubb was probably my all-time, aside from Mike Evans, Nick Chubb was probably my favorite all-time college football player. So I've been a big fan of his, but that knee injury was so devastating, I just don't know if he's got it. So if I'm picking up anyone, it's Woody Marks. I'm just mad that everybody now knows who Woody Marks is.
Yeah, definitely. And a lot of people are leaning towards Pierce to take over. Some people like Chubb. Can he get back to where he was with when he was with the Browns? Many don't think so. So it'll be interesting to see this first week of what they do. Should be very interesting. But I look for Stroud just slinging the ball all over the place when he has time. So,
and I like Stroud this year. I like him to bounce back this year. I really do. They got some nice wide receivers, and I do think that Stroud and their passing game is really going to help with their line and with the running back situation they have. Last year, Stroud sucked. I had a feeling he was going to have a sophomore slump. He was terrible, and I just have a feeling he's going to bounce back this year. So we'll see. And if he does, I think that will help anybody in the backfield, to be honest.
We got Sean here. Hey, this is sort of where we're talking about the Houston backfield. So there's a question. Would you drop Tootin to pick up Marks?
Again, neither one of these guys are going to start this week. Probably also not next week unless one of them kills it. And I think the one with the easiest path to killing it is Marks, because Tootin's got 2 guys in front of him who are both healthy. Etienne's healthy. Tank Bigsby's healthy. And I think barring anything drastic with either of them, he'll get some reps early on. But I think Woody Marks has a better chance to take over, especially at least that 3rd down role. So I think after week 1, if you're looking to pick up who's going to be more valuable, I'd pick up Marks. I mean, it's relatively lateral because we really don't know. But then if he blows up, you can probably turn him into somebody who's going to be a little more consistent down the road. So if he blows up, don't be like, this is my new favorite toy, and hold him. I think that if you can get like I don't know, let's say somebody's got 3 really good running backs and they're like, I need Woody Marks for whatever reason. And they give you somebody equitable to, nobody would be this crazy, but I'm just hypothetical here, like a Jonathan Taylor. Maybe they're like, maybe he had a bad game or something. He stinks, and that would be a move I'd make. I will take Jonathan Taylor the rest of the season and worry about Woody Marks being the best, which could happen, but I would make a trade like that. If he has 2 good weeks in a row, guess what? His value goes up even more, and maybe you can get somebody like Jonathan Taylor. Talking second round pick.
Excellent. Thanks for the question, Sean. All right. The next headline. So we have quite a few rookie and second-year quarterbacks. And are there any ones that's standing out who could really be making an impact, or a few of them that you just don't think it's going to take them a year? They may go through their sophomore slump. What's your thought on some of these rookie and second-year quarterbacks going into this week number 1 and into the season?
Well, I said, I think again last week, episode 1, that I worry the same way, not quite as strong, but I worry the same way about Jaden Daniels as I did with CJ Stroud last year. He's much more dynamic for sure. So it changes things, but his weaponry is a little down. I mean, we'll see what Debo can do if he can hold on to the ball. Then okay, it's not down. But I think they took a lot of people by storm last year, and then they've had 10 months, at least 8 months to look at tape, probably 12, because they've probably been watching game 1 or whenever, all the games for ever since it happened. So I just worry about a little bit of a sophomore slump with Daniels, but by all means, you scoop them up. Drake May and Bo Nix. I can never tell which one I like more, and I mean like not for fantasy, just that I like more. I like them both. I'm rooting for them both, so hopefully they continue. Caleb, the line got better, so we'll see. I always said when he was in college, everybody was saying he was number 1 quarterback. I did it tons of times on Answers by Guests. Like, I don't see what people see. And then, if you remember before last season, Rob and I both said, I'm kind of starting to like Caleb. And we're like, I know, it's so weird. So we'll see. I think he's got it in him, but can you put it all together? I'm most excited to see J.J. McCarthy. I think he's got the best offense. I mean, even without Addison, Naylor did his thing last year. I really like Ty Felton. If he plays, he's a rookie. They got Adam Thielen back, so he's going to have a lot of weapons out there. They still have Mr. Stone for himself, T.J. Hawkinson, and the running back situation is just fine. They got Old Man Jones and Mason to pound it out with them. So I think J.J. McCarthy's who I'm looking forward to. Penix I worry about. And then does anybody even ever mention Jungle Jake Hayner anymore? I don't think so.
No.
So 2025, these guys, I'm going to say J.J. McCarthy again because he didn't play it all last year. So I'm going to qualify him in this. He's my favorite out of them. Cam Ward looks good. He doesn't run necessarily like you might assume he would with his build, but he's more of a passer. And they did draft some good rookies. I don't like their starters, Van Jefferson. I mean, it's like Skid Row. It's like people that got kicked from normalcy. They're like, have some Van Jefferson. And I can't even remember the other bums they have. You probably got a list of them there. Jalen Milroe. I'm really starting to get intrigued by, if you don't know who Jalen Milroe is, he almost made the 5 guys for your eyes tonight. But I already made one update with Marty, and I said, listen, this is the first week he's going to be helping. I don't want to be sending him updates every day. Switching things up. He's going to be like, this guy's guess is crazier than I thought. But Jalen Milroe, Sam Darnold's the starting quarterback. I think he was a product of the offense last year, the offensive coordinator. The coach. I can't think of his name. McDonald? Jeff McConnell? I can't think of it. Kevin McConnell. I knew I was close. Kevin McConnell, I think he was a product. And then once Sam Darnold caught up with Sam Darnold, he turned to trash. But so I sort of think Jalen Milroe, because the Seahawks, I mean, this year, I think he's somebody to keep your eye on. And then there's Jackson Dart and Shedeur Sanders, who are buried on the depth chart. It's going to take something. They're both 4th string. I think who's got a quicker chance? Sanders, unless Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston both get hurt.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. JJ, I think, has top to bottom, has the best tools around him. great support, and it'll be interesting to see how he adjusts going from there. So, all right. So, fantasy football drafts. I think there might be a couple still going on. But what player has you stressed out? Now, on my team, I have Romeo Odunze in my flex. I'm nervous as heck about that. I'm hoping he can last a few, do well for the first 3 games, and then Addison comes back from suspension, and then I'm feeling a little bit better. But the Chicago Bears offense, I think, are going to do a lot of neat things. I just don't know where they're going to go to. So that's who's got me nervous. What about on your teams? Who's got you nervous?
You know what? If I'm being really honest, someone that's not on my team right now has me nervous because they're out there on the waiver wire, and my biggest issue right now is I can't drop these guys. I got to hold on to them. I draft them for a reason, and I won't drop them to pick up this guy, and I'm nervous somebody else is going to pick him up. So who has me stressed out? That player. I can't tell you who that player is yet.
Maybe we'll hear about him in the next week or two, or maybe even tonight later on. Try to twist your arm. All right. Yeah, it's funny, with all these drafts going on, and then these models now will give you a grade and give you your ranking and everything. And I don't hold too much to any of these grades. If you're drafting some rookies, your score goes down, your grade goes down. But
right, they just go off the projected, whatever's projected.
Yeah. All right, let's go to. I think that completes the headline. So I think we have a few questions. Some of these were from before the show. So the first one is from Chris. He has the number 4 pick, full PPR, 14-team league, snake draft. Who are you taking quarterback, wide receiver friendly? And he posted this just a little bit before we went live. So my guess is his draft's probably going on right now.
Yeah. Well, Chris, hopefully you see this. Number 4 pick. That's crazy. Yeah, because I wasn't a big fan of Jahmyr Gibbs, and he's pretty much right in that 4 range. You know what I'd probably do? Your QB, your wide receiver friendly. I think I would be ballsy. Hopefully you see this. I would take Justin Jefferson. You know why? Because it's purple. It's right there in front of me. Purple. Justin Jefferson. You answered your own question. You be ballsy. You get the wide receiver. I think he's going to have a big year. There's no Addison for a few games. J.J. McCarthy's going to be fine. They're playing the Bears. They're at home. It's Monday night. Come on. Justin Jefferson. You pick him up. I'd make him number 4. I picked 3 a couple times. Bijan was my guy. As these days are going on, I'm starting to feel good about reaching with Jefferson. He reminds me. I feel like it happens every year. A guy that we have at the top, somebody outperforms him or they don't do well, so then ADP the next year has him right around his range, 6, 7, 8, 9, somewhere in there, 5 to 9. It happens every single year. Justin Jefferson was number 1 overall last year. Then all of a sudden his year wasn't as good as maybe a couple other guys, and they bump ahead of him. Justin Jefferson, pick 4. Do it.
Yeah, and I think if he wanted to do a stack, he can wait a little while to get JJ. So that may be some type of quarterback wide receiver friendly type of pick.
We call that the double BB banger, Bridge. That's what we call that, the double BB banger. Bridge. I'm gonna write on his comment right now while you're going to the next slide.
All right.
As if he's not drafting yet, I want him to have. I feel so confident about it. I hope nothing bad happens.
All right. Now, Tiffany had this earlier, and I think you did respond, but I thought this was a great question. usually do the waiver wire defense strategy. However, the 49ers have the easiest schedule, and their bye week isn't until week 14. Debating on if I should just snag them and roll with them or keep streaming.
I think my answer was, and if it wasn't, it should have been exactly this. I think you just keep get the 49ers and essentially stream them for a couple weeks. See how it works out. If they're absolutely putrid, then you go with plan B. But you're going to have to grab them now because if they show out and do pretty good week 1 or 2, somebody else is going to get them. So Tiffany, Dawn, I almost called her because it's the same person. I would do them. I'd pick it up right now.
All right. So Antonio had a question here.
Oh, nice.
Warren, more from Chicago or Montgomery?
Is that Jalen Warren? I'm guessing it's Jalen Warren. And if it is, I'm going with him. Aaron Rodgers.
I think from Chicago, it could be a DJ Moore from Chicago.
It doesn't matter. It could be DJ Moore, Sky Moore, Mandy Moore. It doesn't even matter. Montgomery. I'm telling you, the Lions' offense isn't going to be as good. The offensive coordinator is gone. I'm going with Jalen Warren. Week 1 against the Jets. Aaron Rodgers dump offs. Come on.
All right, Rudy, I think you answered this question, but I put this up here. He got an offer. He'd be giving away Ken Walker and Javonte Williams. He'd be receiving Jonathan Taylor and Ibuka. Should I accept running back upgrade? But I'm really high in Williams this year. I'm thinking accept, just not sure.
I think that's Jamison Williams.
Jamison Williams, okay.
Yeah. I was like, no way, Javonte. Nobody wants him.
That's what I was thinking. When he said running back or upgrade, that's what I was wondering.
I told him, I think, yes, do this. I would do this in a heartbeat. I want Jonathan Taylor more than Kenneth Walker. I think Walker's going to be a 50-50 with Sharp this year. I think Charbonnet is going to eat into a lot. He outperformed them last year.
All right, our esteemed Rob.
Well, I just answered.
Not sure who to start between Braylon Allen and Zach Charbonnet this week as my running back too.
Rob Torres, you must be new to the show.
Yeah.
I want to say Charbonnet, but something in me tells me Braylon Allen, but I just can't do it against Pittsburgh. I think Breece Hall feels the heat on him, and he's going to have a little bit of an extra gear in this one. I think Fields is going to cut back on both of them to an extent. And I think if Charbonnet is 50-50, they're playing Arizona, right? Is that correct? I'm almost positive. No, San Francisco. They're at home against San Francisco. Yeah, I'm playing Charbonnet.
San Francisco.
Charbonnet. That's the answer, Rob. Now, is that a game you're playing against me? That's what I'm wondering. Because if it is, play Braylon Allen.
All right. So I think next up, is your favorite part of the show.
What's that?
5 guys for your eyes.
Oh, would you look at that? Look at that. See what he did? He upgraded the 5 guys for your eyes logo. That guy is much better than our guy. Our guy looked sneaky. These guys look confident. I like them.
They look like they're ready to cause some trouble. They're going to make an impact.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. 5 guys for your eyes. We got one person watching. You got to make the habitual comment. Oh, 2 people. People must like 5 guys for your eyes. Maybe we can get to 5 guys that want to watch this. You think we could, Marty?
Yeah, I think we can get up to 5 easily. Oh, by the way, I'm not Rob. I'm Marty. You missed the opening line. We'll fill you in later.
I love it. So, 5 guys for your eyes. If you've never seen it before, it's just me giving you 5 guys that maybe you might not be thinking about, might not be aware of. Um, I got a sleeper list. I got a target list, but that's not people that are going to be on this list per se all the time. Like if I went easy with Ricky Pearsall, Roma Dunze, DeAndre Swift, who I love this year because of the head coach that came from Detroit, and he was a stud with him in Detroit, and he was a stud with him with the Eagles. But I digress. Amari and Hampton, I love. Marvin Harrison, I think, has a nice bounce back. Trey McBride's going to catch a ton of touchdowns. We talked about Iguga. I don't care that he's 4th on the depth chart, JCM. Mr. Merritt is going to be the stud for Washington. Tetaroa, McMillan, Golden, my boy Matthew Golden for the Packers is going to kill it. Trey Benson, Justin Fields, who I think is going to be good. These are all people you know, right? And I use Terrace Marshall, RIP, back to the practice squad. Kyle Williams, Bryce Young was about as, because nobody really likes him, but I think I saw something last year. Roman Wilson and Woody Marks, who now everybody knows about, so it was a waste. And I could have started off the show with another guy, but you're probably sick of me saying his name. I said it 100 times last year. John Mechie. Because I really like Mechie as the number 3 wide receiver for the Eagles. And I got a feeling if on opening night tomorrow night, John Mechie catches a touchdown, which is a prop I like, I think people are going to be picking him up next week. They've been looking for a solid number 3. They gave a lot of money to Jalen Reagor. He sucks. I don't know what they were thinking. But I digress. He didn't make the list. So, who's on the list?
All right. Drum roll. Let's see. Number 5.
Dante Thornton. Now, let's look at the team. Who's the only competition other than Brock Bowers? 45-year-old Amari Cooper. So it's that's it. That's it. Brock Bowers and those guys. Geno Smith slinging it around. Pete Carroll. And he's also becoming a household name, so I couldn't put him much higher than 5. But if you don't know who he is, a lot of people do know who he is, but a lot of people also don't. Dante Thornton, number 5. He's a guy for your eye. He's the number 2 on the team.
All right. Number 4. This surprised me.
Yeah, I'm sure it did. I think we had one viewer right now. He might leave, or she. What a gross name to see on a 5 guy for your eye, is it not? But look at the team he's on once again. Now, he's only on the practice squad, but he played with this team for his entire career except for last season. And Josh Allen liked him. He had huge blow-up games. There are other wide receivers, Josh Palmer, who's always hurt. Keon Coleman, who I like as a sleeper going back into the season. But he looked terrible at times. He looked lost at times last year. Gabe Davis is a reliable target for Josh Allen. And I think that he's somebody to have your eye on and at least know that he's on the practice squad. He could get called up to the roster this week. He's played with them. It's the same coaches, same quarterback, same offense. Nothing's changed. So he could fit right in. We'll see. It's him or Joshua Palmer. Joshua Palmer, I like him, but he falls apart. And he's super boomer bust. So that's number 4.
All right. Number 3. Another surprise. You're really pulling this one out of the woodwork.
Well, that's what 5 guys for your eyes is. And Marty, you should know this. That's what Answers by Guess is, right? You don't come to us to hear about the guys that ESPN's talking about. You come to here to find out who nobody's talking about yet so that you have your eye on them when I say to. And right now I say to have your eyes on Elijah Arroyo, the tight end for the Seattle Seahawks. AJ Barner, I was a fan of him. I talked about him on the show last year. He's a rookie. He's the only one standing in the way. He's like Gronk Jr., but he's nowhere near as athletic and as good of a pass catcher as Elijah Arroyo is. This team has no wide receivers, right? They got Jackson Smith and Jigba, and then what? It's like I could see them doing 2 tight ends, putting Elijah Arroyo in like the slot or something, and having them run routes in there, big, huge target over the middle. We'll see. Tight end. This is the reason that typically I don't pay up for a tight end. And then this year, I think like the first time in my 20 years of doing this, I went early with a tight end, and look who was sitting undrafted in most leagues. I think this is a guy you have to have your eye on. And if you are, for whatever reason, you got Travis Kelce, this is a perfect insurance policy. Perfect.
All right. I have more to talk about on this Seattle Seahawks team.
Okay.
We'll go to number 2. This was on my list. I'm only 45 minutes from Detroit, so I'm very tuned into the Lions camp. And so obviously you had this in number 2. I had to switch my bonus pick. So tell me about Isaac.
Yeah, he's a name that's starting to heat up, and for 2 reasons. One, he had a really good preseason, and he's bumped his way up to what would be number 3 on the depth chart. His only real competition, because he's not touching Amon-Ra, is Jameson Williams, who we saw bigger splashes last year, but we know how the career has been. And he is, in a sense, a one-trick pony. Tesla is the guy who, for the second reason people are talking about, looks like Puka Nacua. I don't know if it's just the hair coming out of the jersey. I don't know if it's the light skin. I don't know if it's the bulk, but he does to an extent. And that's why a lot of people are making an early comparison. But the key thing, I think, is I don't like the Lions' offense this year like they have grown to be. I just have a feeling, and it could be part with my heart and part with my head as a Packer fan. I just have a feeling they're going to just take a step back. It's not going to be terrible, but I think Goff got a little lucky last year. I've always been a fan of Goff, so I'm not a hater. I talked years ago. I said, you want Jared Goff and Cooper Kupp this year. People didn't even know who they were. The rest is history. So I think Detroit has wanted a 3rd wide receiver for a very long time. They were using Khalif Raymond, I believe, or Tim Patrick, one of the 2. Yeah. They're the same exact person. And then they let him go. They traded up to the 3rd round, traded 3 draft picks to get this guy. So they liked this guy. He had a good preseason. They wanted a 3rd weapon. Will he have huge blow-up games? Probably. But he'll at least be productive at the least, I think, throughout the season.
Yeah, from camp, this guy is a fan favorite. I think, like you said, the number 3 wide receiver over the years. Sort of been up and down, but they have big games. I think this guy's going to do something. Going to come in and have some big games for them. Should be interesting to see how they do for sure.
Listen, their wide receiver 3 has had big games over the past couple of years, and that's why people are like, oh, I got to pick up Khalif Raymond. Oh, I got to pick up Tim Patrick. So they like that 3rd wide receiver. They like, because that opens up everything for Williams, and I just think that that's how it's going to go. However, I do think their offense is going to take a step or 2 back. So where like last year, this guy could have been like 16 points a week, where like maybe a 12 would be a good hope, depending on league structure and whatnot.
All right. And finally, last week it was your number 1 was Woody Marks. This week.
Oh, wow.
The Texans defense.
Yeah. And I wanted to say this to Tiffany when she was asking about the 49ers. I was going to be like, pick up Houston. And I was like, well, they're probably gone, A. And then B, I would be talking about my five guy for your eye number one. Yeah, I put him number one because I think defense is something that we can predict fairly simply. Typically, if you take the top 10 defenses from last year and then fast forward a year and see where they came in, like those top 1, 2, or 3 year, a lot of times pushed back to 5, 6, and 7. Maybe not all of them, but some of them. Some of them even drop out completely. I mean, Dallas was in the top 5, and now they're 32. So it it's something that that whoever was the best last year means nothing this year. But Houston, statistically, over the last half of the season, was one of the best, and I think that's a trajectory. Also, their offense was terrible last year, and the one thing that helps the defense is a good offense, and I do think that Stroud picks it up almost back to where he was his rookie year, and I think that they added the right weapons at wide receiver. They drafted a bunch of them. They're all good. It's just going to be which one's going to hit type of thing. Noel, I kind of like a lot. So I think that's going to help their defense. I think they play in a weak division, one of the weakest in football, I would probably say. And also with the NFC South, kind of, right? It's like the Colts, the Jags, the Texans, the Titans, and then like the NFC South is bad too. That's weird. But anyways, I like the Texans defense. If you're somebody that streams or somebody that got stuck with someone else late and they're available, pick them up.
All right, the big game against the Rams. We'll see how they do. So, as you said, you've always sometimes you'll change your top five guys for your eyes, and I decided to change mine up, and I went a little bit on the Seattle theme. And my bridge bonus is Torrey Horton. And listen you mentioned it. Seattle has, JSN. They have Cup. When is the last time Cup has played an entire season?
Oh, yeah.
They don't have anyone else. You're going to probably see 2 tight ends. They're going to run the ball a lot. But whether Cup plays the entire season or not, this guy can open it up. He's had a really good preseason. Been bothered by an ankle. But I think this guy's going to be similar to that number 3 wide receiver that Darnold had in Minnesota and such. Mm-hmm. And I think this guy's going to be well known come middle of the season, looking to work it up. So Torrey Horton's the bridge bonus this week. So I hope I did you proud.
The Rob bonus is never missed, and I'm going to tell you this, Bridge. The bridge bonus hit. The bridge bonus hit. This is a great call because I just got through saying I got JSN and nobody else. And then you say, no, not so fast. And you remind me, yeah, they do have a nice, good little rookie. And I like the rookie quarterback that's going to come in when Darnold sucks. So I think the rookie-to-rookie connection to something. I think you're on to something, Marty. I think you're on to something.
Yeah, we'll definitely keep track of Torrey and see how he progresses. You've got another question from Sean.
Great 5 guy for your eye call. Excellent debut call.
So, Sean, I don't know if he's going to be able to see this, but when you were talking about the Texans, should he drop the Chargers D for the Texans?
Yeah, see, that's such a crazy thing. Their defense is really strong. And so it was either last year or the year before. It's like I have a feeling about Justin Herbert this year. They improved some of the weapons on offense, but not really, because Keenan Allen's one of them. And nothing against him. He's had a great career. But I think the Chargers defense, while the division is going to take points off of them in this comparison, the AFC West much tougher, even with the Raiders there, than the AFC South. I think I still would just hold on to the Chargers. And what I would do, I don't mind carrying 2 defenses. I get to a point in the season where I'm carrying 3 because I'm already planning 3 weeks ahead of who I want, and I'm going to pick them up now. I would try and keep both of them. Do you got somebody on your bench that you're never going to use? and just drop them, pick up the Texans. Now you got both, and we'll play matchups, especially if the defenses score like anywhere near enhanced scoring. Like you played in the ABG league, Sean, so you know that enhanced defensive scoring, it goes a long way, man. It makes defenses actually important.
All right. All right. Well, we have our first or second five guys for your eyes. We'll see how they do, and keep an eye on the Houston's defense this week. All right.
Yeah, we'll see.
So what we want to cover, obviously, there's a game on Thursday night and a game on Friday night this week. So we're going to just talk about the Thursday and Friday night game. And I think we've talked about coming back and doing a show Sunday morning and talk about the other games. So let's look at the matchups here first. All right. The one thing I noticed about week one's schedule, there are a lot of rivalry games this week. Ton of them. And obviously we're opening up Cowboys versus the Eagles in Philadelphia. Light to medium rain. There is a chance of rain that may increase a little bit more. This cold front coming through the Midwest is moving a little quicker. Might hit the East Coast a little bit earlier than Thursday night. But regardless, we talked a little bit about the Cowboys. Micah's gone. The Cowboys did not do very well when Micah was not playing defense for them. They were throwing the ball all over the place. The Cowboys have no defined running game. They have added Pickens to their Dak's arsenal. And on the Eagles side, they're Super Bowl champs. On their defense, their secondary is a little bit questionable. It's young. They've lost several players, so it'll be interesting to see how their defense performs. And then on their offense, you've talked about them a little bit. We got A.J. Brown, we got Smith, we've got, of course, Barkley. So what do you think about this matchup with this game here going into Thursday night?
I think that's a perfect segue from what I was talking about defense. The Eagles, one of the top defenses last year. Everybody think that's going to continue. You sort of touched on some pieces that maybe fell off and some younger, newer pieces get put in there. And this is a rivalry, and anything can happen. And opening night makes it even more crazy. So as last week was rolling on into Friday of last week, I was driving, and I was like, what game is next week? So I got where I was and looked, like, oh, Cowboys and Eagles. I was like, okay, I think the Cowboys are going to win. And I thought to myself all week long, I was like, no, you don't think that. You're being stupid. No, there's no way. And I sort of talked myself out of it. And as we're doing the show and as you're reading through stuff, I'm saying to myself, the Cowboys are going to win this game. And it's going to shock the world. After the Micah Parsons trade, it's the Super Bowl champs. These two teams hate each other. The Eagles' defense takes a tiny step back. The Cowboys are not the Cowboys from last year. Dak's there. They added Pickens, like you said. The running game is whatever, but guess what? It's been whatever for years. And Jake Ferguson's back. And I like Jake Ferguson to catch a touchdown this one. I also like George Pickens to catch a touchdown. He's a touchdown monster. He goes up and gets those balls, and I think he'll have to go up, fight, and get a ball and score a touchdown. So we'll see if that happens, Bridge. But I think the Cowboys are going to pull this out. Now, for the Eagles, I said one of my favorite props, because it's like plus 1,400, is John Mechie to score a touchdown. I think that they'll find a way to get him in. I mean, Devontae Smith was a little banged up coming in. A.J. Brown's a little banged up. The Cowboys are going to give it to him. The Packers are pumped up because they got Micah Parsons. Our team did something for us. But the Cowboys are pumped up too, because they're saying, everybody says we're going to suck. We're going to get run over. That defense is going to be ready. These teams know each other. You throw players out the window when it's a rivalry like this. Cowboys win 25-24.
I'm marking that down.
It's going to happen. I thought I was crazy until 3 minutes ago when you started talking about it. I said, you know what? The Cowboys are going to win this game. They're going to win. And screw everybody. You know who everybody's taking in Vegas, Marty. They're taking the Eagles.
Yeah.
7.5 point home favorites. I tell you right now, there's no way the Eagles are going to beat them by more than 7 if they win. I think the Cowboys are going to win anyway. That's my prediction. It's bold.
Yeah.
And I got stuff to prove it. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what the Cowboys do with the running game. Like you said, they haven't done much over the years. It's been all on Dak. Dak's not running the ball as much as, scrambling as much. I think getting Pickens helps them out. They still have Ferguson. It should be a really good game. I think the Cowboys have something to prove, especially since they lost Micah. So
exactly, and Ferguson was hurt pretty much all year last year. Dak was out. The running backs are essentially the same. I'd actually probably rather have these guys than Rico Dowdle and who's the dude that they had? Miles Sanders for a little bit. Like, I'd rather have – they should have just kept Ronald Jones is what they should have done instead of just booting him off the team. But that's besides the point. Now they got Javonte, right? Jaden Blue, who a lot of people are really loving on right now. So I think they might be all right. I think the Cowboys are going to surprise in this one. I will not be shocked if that happens at all. And we'll see. I hope it's a good game, though. Good game.
Yeah, they usually are. All right. Then we have a Friday night game. It's on YouTube TV. Friday night down in Brazil at the good old soccer stadium, which I'm already hearing that the turf's going to be terrible, but it's the Chiefs and the Chargers. On the Chiefs side, we've already talked a little bit about it. Rashid Rice suspended. The running game for Kansas City hasn't been fantastic over the last couple of years, although Pacheco has, come through in the clutch at times. Mahomes just gets it done. He hasn't had too great of superstar years. Some people are saying that he's going to be back to where he was a few years ago. Not many people are talking about Hollywood Brown. You talked about Gray, the tight end. On the other side, the Chargers, new running backs. They got the rookie Hampton, Najee Harris. I just lost his name. The quarterback.
Herbert?
I love the Chargers quarterback this year for some reason. Hasn't done really well the last 2 years. I think he's gonna have a great year. And then really pretty good solid defenses. So what's your take on this Chief and Chargers? Another rivalry game playing down in Brazil. Should be beautiful weather. The big question is, how is the turf going to hold up?
Yeah. And that's the interesting thing, is because you would automatically think that it would help the offense, right? Like a wet field might type of thing. But if it's just a bad field, I feel like that could hurt the offenses because they're trying to make cuts and things. And if they're just slipping and going in, I kind of feel like this one might be a little more defensive minded and disappoint people. Now, we could come back too on Sunday morning and be like, oh, you thought it would be defensive minded. It was 52-49. Like, that stuff happens. But I could see where this one be a little more calculated. Andy Reid, McMahon, going after McMahon. What the heck am I saying? What's the coach's name? Why am I calling him McMahon? Jim McMahon. Yeah, right?
Oh, Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh. Who the hell's Jim McMahon? The Bears quarterback from the 80s?
Quarterback. Yeah.
Jim Harbaugh. I'm over here talking about Ed McMahon, WWE. Anyways,
now I'm having hallucinations of the fridge and their 85 team. What are you doing to me?
Yeah. So I think it could be. However, I'm not sitting Ladd. I'm not sitting Omarion Hampton. Be interesting with their tight end situation, getting Conklin from the Jets. We'll see what Trey Harris does. As far as the Chiefs go, I like the Chargers too. It's a home game, but it's not really a home game at all, which kind of stinks for this division rivalry that at the end of the season will probably mean a lot. So why not have it at a neutral field, I guess? The Chiefs I talked about, I really think Noah Gray is somebody to scoop it. In the dynasty league, if you don't own Noah Gray right now, I think you're making a big mistake. Because once Kelsey's done, which is next year, Noah Gray's just going to fill the role and do what Kelsey did for 5 years.
Yeah, Gray has had some big games. Mahomes is very comfortable with them.
Mm-hmm.
He has a lot of touchdowns. I know when I had Kelsey a couple of years ago, Gray was always taking away, stealing those touchdowns, and I think that's a great call. Should be a really good game. I'm picking the Chargers to win the West. That's how confident I am of the Chargers. So
yeah,
I hate that they're in a neutral field. It's for a rivalry game, but it is what it is. And I agree. I think it's going to be a struggle out there. I think it's going to be the Chargers 27, the Chiefs 24.
All right. So I got a prediction. I'll just give it to you real quick. I want the Chargers to win, but the Chiefs always win, and they win in a really close game somehow with some crazy stuff. So I'm going to go Chiefs 22-20. I just hope these two games are good. I think was it last year? Was it the first game where it was like terrible? Or one of the years in the years past, I remember it was so bad. We're like, oh, great.
Yeah. But two rivalry games opening it up.
Yeah. That's the way to do it.
The main thing is great. And obviously there's more Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football going on. Sean had another comment here. So I'm going to read first because we were talking about I kind of golden.
I think he kind of saw my face when I saw those pop up. Was yeah. You're not going to drop those guys for a second defense, especially if it's just standard defense where you guys score like 6 to 10 points on a good week. If you're in enhanced scoring and we look at the rest of your roster, we think about it. But week 1 has been trash. You can click on that comment. Week 1's been trash lately. Oh, yep. That's true. It has. I think we had a lot of trash years to start. We're like, don't worry. It'll get better. And it does. It gets better. Yeah. Standard D, keep those guys. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. All right.
Well, thanks for joining us, Sean. Right?
Yeah.
He was, I think, our one watcher. There were a couple people that popped in. It's a Wednesday night. School is starting for a lot of people are in the second week of it. So we'll get into ABG3P.
Yeah. So I'm doing a quick fire. So these are just some really quick thoughts, and go through these things pretty quick. I just want to. It's just warming up. We haven't even started the season yet. Make it easy for you.
I like it. Let's go fast. Rob and I tried to do this before, and it never worked. We could never get it done in a minute.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott over 250 passing yards.
Over. I already talked about it. I think their offense is going to be all right. Especially this week when they're pumped up and the defense is pumped up. Over. 278.
A.J. Brown over under 75 receiving yards.
I'm going to go under. I think they're going to utilize. They're going to 68. He won't be much under, but I'm going to go slightly under 68. He might score a touchdown or two, but 68.
CeeDee Lamb over under 7 receptions.
In my head, I'm going 6-8. 6-8. You know what? Push. He gets 7.
All right. He traditionally has pretty good games against the Eagles, and we'll see if Dak's focusing on him this week. All right. Jalen Hurts over under 35 rushing yards.
Over. He'll get out of the pocket at least once or twice and get a double yardage gain. He'll go over a couple tush pushes.
Justin Herbert, over under 240 passing yards.
245 over. Just barely.
Patrick Mahomes, over under 260 passing yards.
Under. 255. Very close. Are you pulling these from somewhere or are you just making them up?
Combination.
A little bit.
I sort of glanced earlier in the week, but I'm sure it's changed.
Sure.
But
You got to remember too. You got to remember too. Week 1, Vegas knows everybody wants to bet the overs, so a lot of unders will be hitting. The problem is you just have to pick the right one. So maybe I'm doing that.
All right, the rookie. Is he going to get enough carries? Over under 65 rushing yards.
That's 65 has become a huge number, hasn't it? Rob and I talked about this a few years ago. It used to be like every single game a running back would have 100 yards. It was like not even a big deal. Now we're looking at 65. I feel like if you pulled this from somewhere, which I feel like you might have, I feel like that's where Vegas would have his number because they feel like a lot of people will go over. Only rushing yards. Beat the Chiefs on the ground last year. Doesn't mean a lot this year. I'm going to go over. He might go well over too. All he's got to do is bust one.
He's gonna have a better game than Najee Harris. He's gonna have a better game than Najee Harris.
I think so. I think he's got an eye up on him.
Yeah, nice. Hollywood Brown, over under 4 receptions.
You've
been talking about Gray, about.
I mean, he's a little banged up coming into this game too. Yeah. They might want to get Royals involved. I'm going to say under. I think he might get 3. I'm feeling 2. One of them will be a big one, but I don't think they're going to really overuse them. I don't think they'll want to rotate.
All right. So that was a quick. Oh, one more. I added this. I'm glad you got it. Barkley, over under 110 rushing yards.
That's a big number.
Now, last year against the Cowboys, he had 167 yards. He also went over 100 yards against them twice.
Yeah, and I just feel like I feel like the Dallas defense is just going to be pumped up. Saquon could hit that number with ease. These are some tough ones. Man, between you and Rob, you guys are going to age me about 8 years with these ABG 3Ps you show me. These ones are very tough because I don't want to say under because I feel like that's too easy because the number's so huge. Is Dallas defense going to come up with a plan to contain him, or are they going to let Jalen Hurts beat him and hope that the secondary could do the job? I think the Dallas defense is just going to try and contain Barkley. I do. Can he get through it for 111 yards? Week 1. Under.
Since you picked the Cowboys to win, he's got to be under.
Yeah. That's right. But I do think there'll be points scored. All right. You're right. Yeah. All right, that's it.
That's it for the preview of Week 1 and games Thursday and Friday.
All right.
So I think we're talking about having this again on Sunday.
Yeah. Time will be posted, and hopefully we can figure out how to do everyone. I don't know why it wasn't working, but because I feel like nobody ever knows we're live, or we're just at the point where nobody really cares, and that's fine too. But we will be back Sunday morning at some point. I'm going to say at the latest, probably 9-10 a.m., somewhere in that range, right, Bridge?
Yeah. No, I had a lot of fun like I said last week when I reached out to you, wanted just to help, and I know there's a small community here that really looks forward to your insights, and if I can help and continue that, that's our goal, and just have fun with it. And so I had a lot of fun for this first
Good.
time, and yeah, hopefully we can do it again. So
It gets more fun every time, and I think you did a great job. You really did a good work once you knew what you were doing, and I was actually can't wait for Sunday.
yeah, cool. All right. Answers by guest. Don't forget, follow us and like us on Facebook. Get on YouTube. Subscribe to Answers by Guest. Hit your notifications. We find YouTube does a better job of notifying people when we're live.
Oh,
all the other social medias.
You are.
Oh yeah.
What's up, Evan? Is this a friend?
I got a fan club.
I love it.
Yeah, Evan, thanks for joining. Yeah.
Do you know Evan?
I do.
Oh, I was going to say, is this just some random person on YouTube? That's like Marty.
It is some random person on YouTube, as far as you know.
Oh, nice. I'm glad. So Evan's a buddy of yours. Do you play football, fantasy football with?
He does a little bit of fantasy football, not in my leagues, but known him for a little while. I'm thankful he joined in to watch the disaster.
No, show, not a disaster. I told you. I thought it was great, man.
I told him
once you were like, "All right, this is it," and we got into it. I'm like, "Yes." I was texting Rob. I was like, "He's doing good."
I told Evan, a couple other people, whether they join us, said, "Hey, if you want to, listen to me and you can fall asleep really easy, or you just want to have some good laughs, your choice. Join in." So I'm glad you did, Evan. You got to come back. So
yeah,
do it again Sunday, but watch.
What you do,
got a
Evan,
lot of good information.
What you do is you watch Answers by Guest, and then next year you get in a league with Marty, and Marty will be giving away all of his secrets, so you'll win. I mean, that's what's been happening to me the past 9 years, I feel like. It's like, oh, he wants this guy? Let me get him. Son of a mother.
Well, we got the number up to 3, so we'll see what happens. Yeah. But had a great time. Thanks for your insight. Had a lot of fun, and look forward
here's
to
the
it
other
Sunday.
thing, Marty. I have this conversation with Rob all the time. We could do this live real quick if you got a minute.
Yeah.
And this is just for anybody listening, right? And whatever. You don't have to do anything. I'm not begging, and it doesn't matter if you do or you don't. But you watch the video. For the past 8+ years now, we've been saying, give us a like, give us a share. There's been at least a dozen people that have been in and out, unless it's the same person all night long. But we got 3 likes. Even if you don't like it, laugh at it, please, because we need interactions. We need comments. So thank you, Evan and Sean. We need comments, we need likes. The shares are whatever, but Facebook will put you in the right place if enough people are watching, liking, and commenting. And that's the algorithm. We don't get enough of that. So hopefully, Marty, because you're taking time out to help out with this. Again, I thought your first show was great. The second show will be even better. And then the next show, you could sleep the whole time, like sometimes I do. And it's okay. You'll get through it, and you'll do a great job. But those 3 things need to get done to push us into the thing, so that maybe next year you don't have to take time out if you don't want to. You're like, I can't do that again. We won't be mad. We'd understand.
Yeah, excellent. Nope, had a blast. Looking forward to the next time, and we'll,
all right. So
I hope everyone will be back. Make sure you add some comments.
Yes, plan 9 a.m.
Right.
Sunday morning Eastern time, 10 a.m. probably at the latest. Probably 9 though, if that works for you.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Right.
We'll be able to review your 10 picks here.
And we'll see if I was right about Dallas. We'll see a bunch of things with you. Yes, I'm excited for that. So we'll see you all then. Marty, the bridge. Thanks again. And can't wait to do this again.
All right. See y'all later.
Yeah.